Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to explore how you can start sounding more like a native speaker. Not by memorizing grammar rules, but by learning to truly listen, connect words naturally, and speak with rhythm and confidence. Before we start, I just want to let you know that we upload daily English learning videos every single day, so make sure to subscribe and join our community of learners who are improving a little bit every day. Let's begin with something simple but powerful. When you hear a native speaker say a sentence, it often sounds faster than you expect. Not because they're actually speaking much faster, but because they connect words together. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" slowly and clearly, they say, "What you doin'?" Notice how what are becomes whatcha. This is called linking sounds, and it's one of the biggest secrets to understanding real English. When native speakers talk, words flow together like music. Each word is not separated by a big pause. Instead, they melt together. I am going to becomes I'm gonna. Did you eat becomes did ya eat. These are the rhythms of real spoken English. And once you begin to notice them, you'll suddenly understand conversations that used to feel too fast or unclear. Let's try a little practice together. I'll say a phrase slowly, then naturally. Ready? Do you want to go? Now listen again. Do you want to go? Can you hear the connection? The do you becomes dya, and want to becomes wanna. Try repeating it with me slowly. Do you want to go? Again. Do you want to go? Good. The more you repeat, the more natural it feels. This kind of linking is not lazy English. It's natural English. Native speakers aren't thinking about shortening words. They're just speaking smoothly, the way music flows without stopping. So if you want to sound more fluent, focus less on pronouncing every word separately and more on keeping the sound connected. Now, let's talk about why listening carefully is so important. Many learners focus on speaking first, but fluency starts with your ears. When you can hear how native speakers connect and stress words, your brain starts copying those rhythms naturally. It's like learning a song. First, you listen many times until the melody feels familiar. Then you sing along. The same goes for English. Try this small listening exercise. Imagine someone says, "I'm gonna get a cup of coffee." In a textbook, that looks simple. But in real life, you'll hear, "I'm gonna get a cup of coffee." Can you hear the flow? Gonna get a cuppa almost sounds like one long word. Don't worry if you don't catch every sound. What matters is recognizing the pattern, the music of English. Now, let's talk about stress and rhythm. Every language has its own rhythm. English is a stress-timed language. That means some words are strong and others are weak. For example, in the sentence, "I want to go to the park," the strong beats are want, go, and park. Try saying it aloud and tapping your hand. "I want to go to the park." See how the rhythm feels? That's the heartbeat of English. When you learn to ride that rhythm, your speech becomes more natural instantly. Let's practice another rhythm together. Say this sentence. She needs to finish her homework. The important words are needs, finish, and homework. Say it like this. She needs to finish her homework. Feel that bounce? That's what makes your English sound smooth and confident. When you listen to native speakers, try not to translate each word. Instead, focus on how it sounds. Notice which words are stressed, where they pause slightly, and how their voice rises or falls. This is called intonation. It's how emotion, attitude, and meaning are expressed. For example, really can sound curious, surprised, or even sarcastic depending on the tone. Intonation is music in speech, and learning it will make your conversations feel more alive. Now, let's play a small shadowing game. Shadowing means repeating what you hear immediately after listening. It's a great way to train your mouth and ears at the same time. I'll say a line naturally, and you repeat right after me. Ready? How are you doing today? Repeat. How are you doing today? Again. How are you doing today? Good. Now listen carefully. Notice that how are you sounds like how are ya? How are you doing today? Try shadowing that version. How are you doing today? Excellent. Every time you shadow, your pronunciation muscle memory gets stronger. When learners focus on perfect grammar first, they often forget the natural flow. But real English is not about being perfect. It's about being understood, about sounding real, about feeling confident when you speak. Think about how children learn. They listen, repeat, make mistakes, and slowly shape their rhythm. You can do the same no matter your age. Let's try listening to two versions of the same idea. First, textbook style. I will meet you after class. Now, natural spoken English. I'll meet ya after class. Which one sounds more natural in everyday speech? Of course, the second one, meet ya, instead of meet you. This kind of connection happens everywhere. It's not slang, it's rhythm. To improve, start practicing small connected chunks instead of full long sentences. For example, instead of saying, I have to go to work, word by word say, I have to go to work. Hafta and ta are the connected sounds that make your English sound smooth. Try repeating, I have to go to work. Again, I have to go to work. That's it. Feel how your tongue moves less and your words flow easier? That's how native speakers save energy while speaking quickly. You can even notice linking when you listen to movies or podcasts. Next time, choose a short clip, maybe 30 seconds, and replay it. Write down what you think you hear, then check the subtitles. You'll be surprised at how many words are connected or changed. This kind of active listening builds your ear faster than hours of passive studying. Now, let's look at some everyday expressions that make your English sound more alive. Native speakers often use idioms and phrasal verbs that carry emotion. For example, hang out means to relax or spend time together. Catch up means to talk after not seeing someone for a while. Pick up can mean to collect something or to learn naturally. These small phrases make you sound more natural and friendly. Try this mini practice. Repeat after me slowly. Let's hang out sometime. Again, naturally. Lessa hang out sometime. Notice how let's and hang link into lessa. The T in let's changes to an S sound because of the connection. Amazing, right? Real English has hundreds of these tiny patterns, and every time you notice one, your brain becomes more fluent. You can also improve your fluency by thinking in phrases instead of single words. For example, instead of learning the word busy, learn the phrase, I've been really busy lately, or it's been a busy day. When you practice phrases, you don't have to build sentences piece by piece. They flow naturally when you speak. Try repeating this phrase with rhythm. I've been really busy lately. Now connect it smoothly. I've been really busy lately. Hear the difference? The small changes make you sound more relaxed and confident. And remember, it's completely normal if your pronunciation feels awkward at first. Every new sound is like a new muscle exercise. The more you use it, the easier it becomes. Don't aim to sound perfect. Aim to sound natural, comfortable, and connected. All right, quick check-in. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. It really helps us keep creating lessons for you every single day. Thank you so much. Now, let's continue. One reason many learners struggle to understand native speakers is because they expect words to sound like the way they're written. But in spoken English, sounds change all the time. This is called connected speech or reduction. For example, going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna, and got you becomes gotcha. These are not slang. They're the natural shortcuts our mouths take when we speak quickly. Let's train your ear with some practice. I'll say a full sentence slowly, then naturally. You listen carefully and repeat. Ready? Do you want to see a movie tonight? Now natural. Do you want to see a movie tonight? Try repeating the second version. Do you want to see a movie tonight? Excellent. That's how native rhythm sounds. When you start noticing these patterns in real life, you'll understand conversations that used to confuse you. You'll catch those missing sounds and realize they were never missing. They were simply connected. Fluency is not about speed. It's about flow. A fluent speaker isn't rushing. They're just connecting sounds smoothly. That's why practicing shadowing and listening actively is the fastest way to sound natural. When you shadow, your mouth learns the feeling of English rhythm, the ups, the downs, the connections, and before long it becomes automatic. You might feel shy to imitate native speakers at first, but trust me, this is how every good learner improves. Even actors practice shadowing to master accents and rhythm. So you're in good company. Now let's practice one more everyday dialogue rhythmically. Imagine you're meeting a friend. I'll say the lines, and you repeat naturally. Hey, what are you up to? Not much, just hanging out. Cool, want to grab some coffee? Sure, sounds great. Notice how every sentence flows without stopping. What are you up to becomes, what she up to? Wanna grab, connect smoothly. That's the real melody of English conversation. Once you begin hearing and feeling these connections, English will stop sounding like a wall of noise. Instead, it will sound like music you can follow. And soon, join in singing yourself. When you listen closely to conversations, you'll notice something else that's just as important as linking. It's the emotion in the voice. Native speakers use tone to show how they feel, and that's what gives English its natural rhythm and charm. For example, say this sentence in your normal tone, I can't believe it. Now, say it with surprise, I can't believe it. Then with disappointment, I can't believe it. The same words but completely different feelings. That's the power of intonation. It turns flat speech into something alive and expressive. When you speak English, don't be afraid to use your voice like an instrument. Go up and down gently, emphasize the words that carry meaning. If you say everything in the same tone, it sounds robotic. But when you add rhythm, Your speech feels natural and confident. Try saying, "It was an amazing day." Now try, "It was an amazing day." Feel the difference. The first one has life. The second one has calmness. Both are right, depending on the moment. Practicing intonation helps you sound less like you're reading and more like you're really talking. Now, let's focus on pronunciation patterns that help you sound fluent. There's one secret native speakers use all the time, reducing small words like to, for, of, or and. Instead of saying to with a strong sound, they often pronounce it like tuh, or even just ta. For example, I'm going to eat becomes I'm gonna eat. I have to go becomes I have to go. Fish and chips sounds like fish and chips. These little reductions make your English flow faster and sound more natural. Try this with me. Slowly first, I have to go to work. Now, naturally, I have to go to work. Notice how your mouth moves less? The goal is not to be lazy, but to speak smoothly. Repeat it again. I have to go to work. Nice. That's real spoken rhythm right there. One of the best ways to train this is through shadowing short dialogues. For example, imagine this situation. You're running late for a meeting. You say, "I'm gonna be late." Your friend replies, "Don't worry, I'll wait for you." Listen to how the words flow together. I'm gonna be late becomes I'm gonna be late. Wait for you becomes wait for ya. Try repeating it with the same energy. I'm gonna be late. Don't worry, I'll wait for ya. That's natural spoken English in action. Listening and repeating like this builds what we call speech muscle memory. Your tongue, lips, and jaw start learning the shape and timing of English sounds. At first it feels strange, but after a few days it becomes smoother. It's just like learning a song. Practice a few lines again and again until they feel easy. Then add more. Another thing that helps is to record yourself speaking. Yes, it can feel a little uncomfortable at first, but it's incredibly effective. When you listen back, you'll notice where your rhythm is off or your words are too separate. Compare your version with a native recording and notice the difference. Then try again. Improvement happens fast when you can hear yourself. Now let's talk about connected expressions used every day. Instead of saying "I don't know," many native speakers say "I don't know." Give me becomes gimme. Let me becomes lemme. Because turns into cause. These are the natural shortcuts of conversation. Try saying them with me. I don't know. Gimme a second. Lemme see. 'Cause I was tired. Great. Using these makes your English sound more relaxed, friendly, and real. Sometimes learners worry that using these sounds is too casual, but it's perfectly fine in everyday speech. In fact, it's what makes you sound approachable and natural. Of course, in formal writing or exams, you'll use the full forms, but when speaking with friends or colleagues, these reduced forms are exactly what native speakers use all the time. Let's try a fun mini conversation together. Imagine you're at a cafe. I'll say the lines slowly first, then naturally. Do you want to grab some coffee? Sure, let's go. Where do you want to sit? By the window's fine. Now natural speed. Do you want to grab some coffee? Sure, let's go. Where do you want to sit? By the window's fine. See how every phrase connects smoothly? It's like a small wave of sound instead of separate blocks. You can use shadowing to copy not only pronunciation but emotion. When you imitate how someone sounds, their tone, energy, and pauses, your speech automatically becomes more native-like. Think of it as acting in English for a few minutes every day. It's fun and it works. If you ever feel like native speakers talk too fast, remember this. They're not actually using more words per minute, they're just connecting them. You already know most of those words. You just need to train your ear to hear them as one long sound instead of many small ones. Try this short listening challenge. I'll say a sentence naturally, and you try to write what you hear. Ready? What do you think about it? Did you catch it? That was, what do you think about it? But it sounds like, what do you think about it? This happens constantly in real speech. So, what's the best way to master this skill? Consistency. Listen to English every single day, even for 10 minutes. It could be a short YouTube video, a podcast, or a movie scene. Don't try to understand every word. Focus on rhythm, linking, and tone. Then repeat what you hear. Slowly first, then naturally. Within a few weeks, you'll notice big changes in how you speak and understand. Let's talk about the difference between textbook English and real English for a moment. Textbook English teaches you clear grammar and perfect pronunciation. It's important for building a strong foundation, but in real life, people don't speak like textbooks. They shorten words, add filler sounds like or you know, and use idioms that change meaning. For example, a textbook might say, I'm very tired, but a native speaker might say, I'm beat or I'm wiped out. Both mean the same thing, but the second ones sound more natural. Here's a short idiom practice. Repeat after me. I'm beat. I'm wiped out. I'm feeling under the weather. That movie blew me away. Great. When you start using phrases like these, people will instantly feel that your English is real, not robotic. And remember, idioms and phrasal verbs are not just fancy words, they're part of the heartbeat of conversation. Instead of saying, I will cancel my plans, a native speaker might say, I'll call it off. Instead of, I will continue, they'll say, I'll keep going. Instead of, I understand, they might say, I get it. You see how natural that sounds? Practice them in short sentences to build confidence. Here's a quick shadowing drill. Repeat these short sentences with rhythm. I get it. Let's call it off. Keep going. Take it easy. Hang in there. Perfect. Don't just say them. Feel them. Each phrase has its own rhythm, its own little melody. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is focusing too much on pronunciation without rhythm. You can pronounce every sound correctly and still not sound fluent if your rhythm is too stiff. Fluency is about flow. That means connecting your words, stressing the right syllables, and keeping a natural pace. Think of it like walking. You don't stop after each step. You move smoothly. Speaking English works the same way. To help you build this smoothness, try reading short sentences aloud every day. Choose any paragraph, maybe from your favorite book or a short news story. Read it first slowly, then again faster, focusing on keeping your voice flowing. You'll be amazed how quickly your brain adapts. Even 5 minutes of daily practice can change your speaking rhythm completely. Now, here's a small trick many learners find helpful. When you watch a show or movie, don't just read the subtitles. Listen for linking and reductions. Pause after one line and repeat it exactly as you hear it. Try copying the same tone and speed. It's okay if you don't sound perfect at first. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. If you're shy about speaking English out loud, try talking to yourself quietly. Describe what you're doing in English. I'm making tea. I'm checking my phone. I'm getting ready to go out. These small, daily sentences keep your brain active in English and help you think directly without translating. Thinking in English is one of the biggest steps toward fluency. When you stop translating from your native language, your responses become quicker and smoother. To practice this, look around your room and describe what you see in English. There's a blue chair. My phone's on the table. The window's open. These small observations build mental fluency without pressure. And here's something important to remember. Every fluent speaker you admire once struggled exactly like you. No one starts out speaking perfectly. Fluency is built, not born. It's made of thousands of small moments, repeating, listening, making mistakes, and trying again. So, if you ever feel stuck, remind yourself that you're already improving by showing up and practicing. Now let's do a little guided shadowing practice before we end this part. I'll say short, natural phrases and you repeat them right after me. Ready? How's it going? Pretty good, thanks. What are you up to? Just chillin'. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. Beautiful. That's real conversational English, full of rhythm and emotion. Keep doing this daily. Even 5 minutes of shadowing can make your English sound smoother, clearer, and more natural. The more you listen, the more your ears will understand the secret music of the language. You're doing great so far. Keep going, and by the end of this full lesson, you'll not only understand how native speakers connect their words, you'll start doing it yourself without even thinking. Now that you're starting to notice how English sounds when it flows naturally, let's go a little deeper into how you can practice listening like a native speaker. The key is to stop listening only for words and start listening for rhythm and emotion. You see, fluent speakers don't just use their mouths. They use their whole body, their feelings, their pauses. Every sound carries energy and meaning beyond the words themselves. If you can feel that, you can connect with people much more easily. Let's try an experiment together. I'll say the same short sentence in 3 different ways, and I want you to guess what emotion I'm expressing. Ready? That's great. That's great. That's great. The first one sounds polite but neutral, right? The second one sounds genuinely excited, and the third one sounds disappointed or sarcastic. Same words but completely different energy. This is why understanding tone is as important as understanding vocabulary. When you speak, try not to focus only on what you're saying, but how you're saying it. The melody of your voice can make you sound confident, friendly, and natural. For example, when you greet someone, don't just say hi flatly. Say hi with a little rise in your voice. It instantly sounds warmer and more open. Or when you say thank you, let your tone go slightly down at the end. It feels calm and sincere. Try it now. Thank you. See how it feels? Listening to how natives use pitch and emotion will help you mirror it naturally. One fun way to practice is to watch short scenes from TV shows or movies and mute the subtitles. Focus on their voices. Can you tell what the characters are feeling just from their tone? Then replay the same scene with subtitles and see if you guessed right. This sharpens your listening intuition and helps you respond naturally in conversations. Let's do some active listening training right now. I'll say short every day, phrases, and you repeat them while paying attention to rhythm and feeling. Ready? Hey, how have you been? I'm doing pretty good. That's awesome to hear. No worries, take your time. See you around. Excellent. Now do it again, but this time focus less on words and more on the energy, how it feels to say them. The smoother it sounds, the closer you get to real English flow. Another important part of sounding native is mastering contractions. Contractions are when two words are combined into one shorter form. Native speakers almost always use them. I am becomes I'm, you are becomes you're, they will becomes they'll, it is becomes it's. If you say every word separately, I am going to the store, it sounds too formal and slow. But if you say I'm going to the store, it sounds natural and easy. Try a few with me. I'm ready. You're amazing. They'll be fine. It's okay. Perfect. See how much smoother it feels? Let's do a quick rhythm drill using contractions. Repeat after me. I'm gonna head out now. You're gonna love this. He's been working hard. We'll see what happens. It's been a long day. When you say these naturally, it's like your mouth starts dancing with the language. That's exactly the goal, to make English feel like music. Now let's talk about something that makes a huge difference in fluency: word stress. English words often have one syllable that's stronger than the rest. For example, in contract, noun, and contract, verb. The stress changes the meaning: present versus present, record versus record. This is why listening carefully helps you avoid misunderstandings. When you know where to place the stress, your words instantly sound more natural. Try this with me. Say contract. Now say contract. Feel how your voice moves? That small change completely shifts the word's function. Let's do one more. Present, present. Amazing. You're not just learning pronunciation, you're learning how meaning lives in sound. Native speakers use stress to highlight what's important in a sentence. For example, I didn't say he stole the money can mean 7 different things depending on which word you stress. Try it. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe someone else did. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe you just implied it. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe he borrowed it. See how powerful stress can be? Understanding this helps you listen more effectively, too. When someone speaks, notice which words they emphasize. Those are usually the most important for meaning. You don't have to understand every single word. Just catch the key stressed ones, and you'll get the message easily. Let's talk about confidence for a moment. Many learners understand English perfectly but still hesitate to speak. They worry about mistakes, accents, or grammar. But remember this: communication is not about perfection. It's about connection. Even if your accent is different, your voice has value. Fluency comes from using the language, not from waiting until you're perfect. Let's try a small confidence-building exercise together. Imagine you're introducing yourself at a party. Say it naturally with me. Hey, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you. Now you try with your own name. Hey, I'm your name. Nice to meet you. Great. Now add some emotion. Smile as you say it even if no one can see you. Hey, I'm your name. Nice to meet you. Do you feel the difference in energy? That's confidence. It's not about grammar, it's about connection. When you practice speaking alone, remember to imagine real situations. Picture the place, the people, the mood. The more realistic your imagination, the more natural your speech becomes. For example, pretend you're at a cafe ordering coffee. Hi, could I get a latte, please? Sure. Would you like it hot or iced? Hot, please. Anything else? That's all, thank you. These are short, common dialogues, and practicing them out loud helps you prepare for real life. You can even make your own mini dialogues at home. Choose a situation like shopping, traveling, or making plans, and speak both sides of the conversation. It might sound funny, but it's extremely effective. It trains your brain to think fast in English without translating. Let's try a quick self-dialogue practice right now. Imagine you're calling a friend. Hey, are you free tomorrow? Yeah, I think so. What's up? Let's go for a walk in the park. Sounds great. What time? Maybe around 10? Perfect. See you then. That's how natural English sounds. Short, rhythmic, connected, full of flow. When you shadow, repeat, or act out these lines, try to pay attention to how your voice feels when it flows. Don't stop after every word. Let the sound carry you forward. Fluency isn't about speed, it's about comfort. You should feel like English is moving with you, not against you. Another great exercise is to listen to native speakers in real-life settings, not just in lessons. Watch interviews, vlogs, or even casual podcasts. Real conversations are full of linking, hesitation, and emotion. Listen to how people interrupt each other gently, how they laugh, how they agree or disagree politely. These are all parts of natural communication that textbooks can't teach. Now let's go back to pronunciation practice for a moment. There's a sound many learners find tricky, the th sound. There are two kinds, the soft th like in this and the hard th like in think. To make the soft one, place your tongue gently between your teeth and let the air pass through. This, that, those. For the hard one, do the same but add a little puff of air. Think, thank, Thursday. Try it now slowly. Think, thank, Thursday. Great. You're training your mouth to move in new ways. That's real progress. If it feels difficult, that's normal. English has sounds that don't exist in many languages, and it takes time for your tongue to learn them. But every attempt counts. Every sound you practice adds to your confidence. Let's combine what we've learned so far in a short connected phrase. I think that this is the thing. Slowly, it sounds like that, but naturally it becomes, I think that this is the thing. The T in that almost disappears and connects with this. Try saying it smoothly. I think that this is the thing. That's natural linking right there. When you start hearing English like this, you stop fearing fast speech. You realize it's not faster, it's just smoother. That's why shadowing is so powerful. It rewires your ear to recognize flow instead of isolated words. Now let's build your rhythm awareness even more. Clap or tap your hand as you repeat sentences. For example, I need to go to the store. Clap on the strong words, need, go, store. Do it again. I need to go to the store. That rhythm is what makes English clear and musical. Even when you're nervous, if you keep the rhythm, people will understand you easily. Finally, let's remind ourselves why we're doing this. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to express yourself, your ideas, your personality, your sense of humor. The more you practice listening, linking, and speaking naturally, the more English becomes a part of you. It's not about copying an accent, it's about communicating clearly and confidently in your own voice. Every time you practice, you're one step closer to sounding natural and feeling free in English. So take a deep breath, smile, and tell yourself, I can do this. Because you absolutely can. Now that you've built a good sense of rhythm and confidence, let's move a little deeper into how to make your English sound smoother in real conversations. One secret is something called connected thought. It means learning to speak in ideas, not in words. Instead of thinking about each single word, your mind begins to group them together as one flowing thought. For example, instead of saying, I don't know what to do, think of it as one unit. I don't know what to do. The sound and meaning move together naturally. This helps you stop hesitating between every word. When you listen to a native speaker, notice how they rarely pause between short, connected words. The pauses usually come between thoughts, not inside them. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll ask Sarah. You can hear that the pause happens after the full idea. Practicing in this way helps you sound natural and calm, not choppy or robotic. Try saying that whole phrase with me. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll ask Sarah. Excellent. That's exactly the kind of flow you want to build. Let's try another example. I think I'm gonna stay home tonight. When you say it slowly, it's 6 words. But in natural speech, it sounds like, I think I'm gonna stay home tonight. Everything connects smoothly because your tongue doesn't stop moving. Repeat it again with me. I think I'm gonna stay home tonight. Beautiful. The more you link like this, the less effort your mouth needs and the more fluent you sound. Now let's talk about pauses, because silence is part of fluency too. Good speakers know when to pause to give the listener a moment to process. A short pause can make your speech sound more thoughtful, confident, and clear. For example, try saying this. Honestly, I didn't expect that. That small pause after honestly makes the sentence sound natural and emotional. Compare it to saying, honestly, I didn't expect that quickly. It feels rushed, right? So don't be afraid of short pauses. They help your listener understand and help you sound calm. Let's do a mini rhythm practice combining linking and pausing. Say this with me slowly. It's kind of funny. Now naturally, it's kind of funny. Hear the difference? The small pause after keeps it relaxed. The connection between it's kinda makes it smooth. That balance of rhythm and breath is exactly how fluent speech works. Sometimes learners think speaking fast equals fluency. But fluency is not about speed. It's about smoothness. Even native speakers vary their pace depending on mood and context. When you speak slower, people feel more comfortable listening to you. So take your time. Let your words breathe. The goal isn't to rush, it's to connect. Now let's talk about intonation patterns. The up and down movement of your voice. In English, your voice usually goes up when you're asking a question and down when you're finishing a statement. For example, say this question: "Are you coming?" Notice how your tone rises at the end. Now say this statement: "I'm coming." Your tone goes down. Try it again. "Are you coming?" "I'm coming." Perfect. If you use the right rise and fall, your speech will sound clear and confident even if your grammar isn't perfect. There's also something called the fall-rise tone, when your voice falls a little then rises again to show curiosity or politeness. For example, "Really?" or "Maybe?" It makes your speech sound friendly and soft. You can hear it all the time in casual talk. Try saying, "Maybe we could go later." See how your voice gently rises at the end? That kind of tone keeps conversations open and warm. Let's practice everyday conversation lines using different tones. I'll say the sentence first, then explain the emotion. "That's amazing." Excited. "That's amazing." Calm and genuine. "That's amazing." Disappointed or ironic. Tone is everything. You don't have to memorize grammar rules for emotion. You just have to feel the sound. So always listen to the rise, fall, and rhythm when you watch or hear English. Another trick to sounding natural is chunking your speech. It means grouping words by meaning instead of grammar. For example, instead of saying each word separately, "When I get home, I'm going to cook dinner," say it in chunks. "When I get home, I'm gonna cook dinner." It sounds smoother, easier, and more expressive. Try repeating that with me. "When I get home, I'm gonna cook dinner." Perfect. See how that pause gives it rhythm and life? Let's do a quick fluency exercise using shadowing and chunking. Repeat each phrase right after me naturally. "I woke up late, so I missed the bus." "I was hungry, so I made some eggs." "It started raining, so I grabbed my umbrella." Great job. Each short pause makes your speech easier to follow and much more natural. Now let's talk about emotion control in your voice. Sometimes English learners speak in a very flat tone because they're afraid of sounding silly. But emotion is what makes your English memorable. When you tell a story or express an opinion, let your feelings show a little. If you're happy, let your tone rise slightly. If you're serious, let it slow down. That's how people will connect with you, through the feeling behind your words. Let's practice emotional storytelling for a moment. I'll tell you a short story and you'll repeat it with the same feeling. Ready? Yesterday, I met an old friend at the cafe. I hadn't seen her in years, and it was so nice to catch up. Say it again with warmth. Yesterday, I met an old friend at the cafe. I hadn't seen her in years, and it was so nice to catch up. Beautiful. Feel how natural that sounds? You're not just practicing English, you're practicing connection. Now, let's shift to listening. When you listen to English, focus on patterns, not perfection. You don't need to catch every single word. Your brain can understand the meaning through rhythm and context. For example, if you hear "wanna grab lunch later," you might not clearly hear each sound, but your brain still gets it because of the situation and tone. That's why real-world listening practice, With podcasts, short videos or conversations is much more effective than just reading. Try this challenge sometime today. Listen to a short clip in English, maybe 30 seconds long, and repeat it immediately. Don't worry if you can't say it perfectly. Even trying once makes your brain work in English rhythm. That's how you train your ear and your mouth together. Now, let's work on sentence stress in a short dialogue. I'll say it once and you repeat after me, matching my emphasis. I really like this song. Do you really like it? Yeah, I do. It's so relaxing. Notice how the stress moves depending on the meaning. Really and so are the emotional peaks of each line. That's what gives English its melody. Let's add a small self-practice tip. Every day, choose one short English sentence and try to say it 5 different ways: happy, sad, curious, surprised, tired. This trains your emotional flexibility in speech. The more emotion you can express, the more natural and engaging your English will become. Another very powerful technique for fluency is imitation with awareness. Find a short clip of a native speaker, maybe a minute or less, and mimic their speech exactly, not just the words, but the tone, speed, and pauses. You can even copy their facial expressions if you like. This builds instinctive control over your voice and helps your pronunciation without memorizing rules. It's like language acting practice. Let's try a mini imitation exercise right now. Imagine this line is from a movie. Don't give up. You've got this. Say it naturally. Don't give up. You've got this. Now say it again with encouragement, smiling a little. Don't give up. You've got this. Feel how your tone changes when you smile. Your listener can actually hear the smile in your voice. That's what makes English communication powerful. And don't forget humor. Even simple jokes or light comments can make your conversations friendlier. You don't need to be a comedian, just relaxed. For example, if someone says, "You look tired," you could laugh softly and say, "Yeah, my bet and I had an argument this morning." Simple, playful language shows confidence. Humor is not about being perfect in English. It's about being human. When you practice, try adding small personal touches like this. If you make a mistake, smile and keep talking. Native speakers make mistakes all the time too. What matters is your connection, not perfection. Before we move on, let's do a short fluency workout together. I'll give you quick phrases and you repeat each one smoothly after me. Ready? How are you feeling today? I'm feeling good. What have you been up to? Not much, just relaxing. Do you want to grab something to eat? Yeah, sounds great. Let's meet in half an hour. Perfect. Keep that rhythm. Light, connected, effortless. Remember, fluency grows like a tree. You water it every day with small, consistent practice. One drop at a time, your listening improves, your speaking becomes smoother, and your confidence grows. You don't have to rush. Your progress is already happening right now as you listen and repeat. So keep going. You're doing beautifully. Let's keep building your confidence, step by step. You've already learned how linking, rhythm, and tone bring life to your English. Now it's time to put everything together in real-life speaking situations. Think of this part as your practice zone, where you train your listening, shadowing, and speaking muscles all at once. Ready? Let's go. Imagine you're meeting someone new at a coffee shop. They say, "Hey, how's it going?" You reply, "Pretty good, how about you?" Then they say, "Not bad, just been busy lately." You answer, "Yeah, same here." That short exchange already has rhythm and flow. Notice how there's no need for long sentences. Each line is short, relaxed, and connected. That's how native speakers actually talk. Let's shadow that together. "Hey, how's it going?" "Pretty good. How about you?" "Not bad, just been busy lately." "Yeah, same here." Excellent. You're not just repeating words. You're feeling the rhythm of real conversation. When you do this every day, even for 5 minutes, you start thinking in English naturally. Now imagine you're at work or in class, and someone says something you agree with. Instead of saying, "I agree" every time, you can use natural expressions like, "Yeah, totally, exactly, that's true," or "for sure." These small phrases make your English sound more alive. Let's practice them together. "Yeah, totally. Exactly. That's true. For sure. Perfect." Say them again, but connect the sounds slightly. "Yeah, totally. That's true. For sure." See? Each time it becomes more fluid and natural. In real conversations, you'll also hear short reaction words that native speakers use all the time. Things like, "Really? No way. Wow. Seriously? That's awesome." These are like emotional punctuation marks. They show you're engaged and listening. Practice them with natural feeling. "Really? No way. Wow. Seriously? That's awesome. Good." Try to notice how your tone changes with each one. That's how you sound authentic, not mechanical. Now, let's practice small talk, one of the most common parts of daily English. It's not about deep topics, it's about connection. I'll guide you through a short example. "Hey, nice weather today, huh?" "Yeah, finally some sunshine." "I know, it's been raining all week." "Tell me about it." "You doing anything this weekend?" "Maybe just relaxing at home." "You?" "Same here, might go out with friends." Beautiful. Small talk is how relationships start in English. Light, easy, friendly. You don't need fancy words. You just need warmth in your tone. When you listen to native speakers, notice that they often blend their questions naturally. "You doing anything this weekend?" becomes, "You doing anything this weekend?" "What are you watching?" turns into, "Whatcha watchin'?" "Where are you going?" sounds like, "Where you goin'?" Try repeating these versions with me. "You doing anything this weekend?" "Whatcha watchin'?" "Where you goin'?" Excellent. That's the flow of natural speech, connected and comfortable. Let's try a short listening challenge. I'll say a quick line, and you try to write or imagine what you heard. Ready? "What do you want to eat tonight?" Did you catch it? It was, "What do you want to eat tonight?" Sounds totally different, right? That's because the words link together. Try saying it yourself. "What do you want to eat tonight?" Perfect. Your ear is getting smarter already. If you ever feel lost in a fast conversation, don't panic. Just focus on the main content words, the ones that carry meaning. For example, in "Do you want to grab some lunch after class?" the main words are grab, lunch, and class. Even if you miss "do you wanna," you'll still understand the idea. And if you want to respond naturally, you can just say, "Sure, sounds great," or "Yeah, let's do it." Fluency isn't about understanding every word. It's about understanding enough to keep the flow going. Now, let's work on your response rhythm, how quickly and smoothly you answer. After someone asks you something, try not to think too long. Use small natural fillers to give yourself time. Instead of long silence, say, let me think, or, well, maybe, or, you know what. These phrases keep the conversation alive while you organize your thoughts. Let's practice. I'll ask you a question, and you respond naturally. What kind of music do you like? I like a bit of everything, but mostly pop. Great. Where would you like to travel someday? Well, maybe Japan. I've always wanted to visit. Excellent. You're speaking smoothly without rushing. Another tip, when someone tells you a story, show that you're listening by reacting softly. Say, yeah, wow, or that's interesting. These little listener sounds make you part of the rhythm. English conversations are built like a dance. Both people move together, one speaking, one responding. You don't have to say much, but your tone keeps the flow alive. Now let's shift into pronunciation for clarity. One sound that often changes in fast speech is the T sound. Sometimes it disappears and sometimes it becomes a soft D sound. For example, water sounds like water. Better becomes better. City turns into city. Try them slowly. Water, water, better, better, city, city. Great. This small sound change happens naturally when you speak smoothly. Don't force it. Just notice it when listening to natives and let it come naturally. You can also practice this by reading aloud short texts and recording yourself. When you listen back, ask yourself, am I connecting words? Does it sound smooth? Is my rhythm even? It's okay if it doesn't sound perfect. Progress happens one sentence at a time. Here's a quick fluency warm-up you can do every day. Repeat after me. I woke up late, grabbed a coffee, and ran out the door. I met my friend, we chatted for a bit, then headed home. I watched a movie, ate some popcorn, and relaxed. Try saying each sentence a little faster every time while keeping your rhythm clear. This kind of repetition builds muscle memory, the foundation of fluency. Let's talk about vocabulary in real conversation. Native speakers often use simple, flexible words instead of complicated ones. For example, instead of commence, they say start. Instead of purchase, they say buy. Instead of reside, they say live. Simple doesn't mean basic. It means natural. So when you speak, choose clarity over complexity. That's how you sound confident and authentic. Here's a little reflection practice. Think about one common situation in your daily life, maybe going to the store, talking to a friend, or ordering food. Try to describe it in English using simple, natural phrases. For example, I went to the store to get some milk, but they were out, so I bought juice instead. Say it a few times and notice how it flows. This kind of self-dialogue turns passive knowledge into active fluency. Let's do another mini conversation together. Imagine you're calling a friend to make weekend plans. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Not much. Why? Want to hang out? Sure. What time? Maybe after lunch? Sounds good. See you then. Perfect. That's real English. Short, natural, rhythmic. You can even practice shadowing this whole exchange until it feels automatic. Now, a quick reminder about stress and energy. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. It really helps us keep creating lessons just for you. And I'm so happy you're spending this time improving your English with me. All right, back to our training. Let's talk about word reductions, one of the biggest reasons English sounds fast. In natural speech, small words like of, to, and for often lose their full vowel sounds. Kind of becomes kinda, going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna, out of becomes outa. Try them now. Kinda, gonna, wanna, outa. Excellent. Now put them in short phrases. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna call you later. Do you want to go out of town? You're starting to sound more like a native already. When you shadow, focus on feeling the physical movement of your mouth, how the sounds connect, how your jaw relaxes, how your voice flows. It's almost like singing softly. That's why English is often called a musical language. There's rhythm, pitch, and emotion in every sentence. To finish this part, let's do a gentle rhythm practice with daily life examples. Repeat after me with smooth flow. I've got to get ready for work. I'm looking for my keys. Can you give me a hand? I'm thinking about going out. We're hanging out later. They're coming over soon. Amazing. The more you do this, the more your English starts to feel automatic. And when it feels automatic, that's real fluency. So take a deep breath, smile, and remember, fluency doesn't come in one day. It grows slowly through moments like this. Every time you listen, repeat, and connect, you're teaching your brain to speak English naturally. You're not just learning words, you're learning rhythm, emotion, and flow. And that's what makes your English sound truly alive. Now that you've built a stronger sense of flow and natural linking, let's take everything we've learned and practice bringing it into real-life situations that happen every single day. Because the best kind of English practice isn't abstract. It's connected to your real world. That's where real fluency lives. Imagine waking up in the morning and describing your routine in English. You don't need long sentences or complicated words, just small, clear, connected phrases. Let's practice together. I wake up around 7. I grab my phone and check messages. Then I get up, brush my teeth, and make some coffee. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. Finally, I leave for work. Beautiful. Now say it again a little faster, letting the words flow together. I wake up around 7, grab my phone and check messages. Then I get up, brush my teeth, and make some coffee. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. Finally, I leave for work. Can you feel the rhythm? That's everyday English spoken naturally. You can practice describing your real life every morning like this. Think in English as you go through your routine. I'm making breakfast. I'm getting ready to go out. I'm locking the door. I'm waiting for the bus. These small daily sentences keep your brain in English mode without pressure. It's one of the easiest ways to start thinking in English instead of translating. Now let's practice a realistic conversation you might have during your morning. Imagine you're grabbing coffee on your way to work. Good morning. Can I get a cappuccino, please? Sure, what size? Medium, please. Would you like it hot or iced? Hot, please. That'll be $3.50. Here you go. Thanks. Have a great day. You too. See, every phrase is short, friendly, and rhythmical. If you shadow this dialogue a few times, you'll start noticing how each sound connects naturally. Here's a quick shadowing challenge. Repeat after me naturally. Can I get a cappuccino, please? Would you like it hot or iced? That'll be $3.50. Thanks. Have a great day. Amazing. You just practiced real conversation rhythm. That's how English actually sounds outside the classroom. Now let's look at another example, talking with a coworker or friend about your day. Hey, how's your morning going? Not bad, just busy as usual. Yeah, same here. Mondays are always crazy. Tell me about it. Wanna grab lunch later? Sure, sounds good. These short exchanges help you master natural conversation timing. Every sentence flows like a friendly wave, smooth, relaxed, clear. When you practice dialogues like these, don't just repeat the words, try to feel the energy behind them. Not bad, just busy as usual, has a casual, slightly tired tone. Sure, sounds good, has warmth and openness. The emotion shapes your pronunciation. If you sound warm and relaxed, your rhythm automatically improves. Another important skill is echo listening. That means repeating what you hear right after someone speaks, even silently. When you watch English videos or listen to podcasts, try echoing in your head. It keeps your brain in sync with native rhythm. It's like dancing with language in real time. Let's do a quick fluency workout with real-life lines. Repeat after me, focusing on flow and natural movement. I'll give you a call later. I've been meaning to talk to you. Let me check my schedule. It's been a long day. I'll grab some dinner on my way home. See you tomorrow. Great. Now try saying them one after another with no pause between sentences. I'll give you a call later. I've been meaning to talk to you. Let me check my schedule. It's been a long day. I'll grab some dinner on my way home. See you tomorrow. That's smooth, connected English. When you listen to yourself speaking, focus on the melody of your sentences. Each phrase has a beginning, a middle, and an end, like a gentle wave. Your voice should rise slightly in the middle, then fall softly at the end. Try this pattern with the sentence, I really need some rest. Start soft, rise on really, and fall gently on rest. I really need some rest. Perfect. That natural movement makes your English sound calm and fluent. Now let's talk about phrasal verbs, because native speakers use them constantly. For example, instead of saying, I will continue, they say, I'll keep going. Instead of I will cancel, they say, I'll call it off. Instead of I will investigate, they say, I'll look into it. These small combinations of verbs and prepositions sound casual and natural. Try repeating them with me. Keep going. Call it off. Look into it. Excellent. Now use them in small sentences. I'll keep going until I finish. We might call it off if it rains. I'll look into it tomorrow. Amazing. That's everyday spoken English at its best. When you listen to natives, you'll notice they don't overthink grammar. They focus on expressing the idea quickly and clearly. That's why shadowing and imitation are so powerful. They train your intuition, not just your memory. You start feeling what sounds right. Let's do another short practice. Imagine your friend asks, Hey, what happened with that project? You reply, "Oh, we called it off," or "We're still working on it," or "We finally finished it." Each one is simple but clear and natural. That's exactly how fluent speech sounds: relaxed, confident, effortless. Another important aspect of natural conversation is linking emotion to tone. If you want to show excitement, let your voice rise slightly. That's awesome. If you want to sound thoughtful, slow down and soften your tone. I'm not sure about that. If you want to show agreement, use a short, warm tone. Yeah, exactly. Practicing emotion helps your English sound alive instead of robotic. Let's do a quick emotion drill, Sal. I'll give you one sentence and you'll say it in 3 different tones. I can't believe it. Say it surprised. I can't believe it. Now disappointed. I can't believe it. Now sarcastic. I can't believe it. Perfect. The same words, 3 meanings, all because of tone. You're not just learning English, you're learning communication. Now, let's bring your listening focus up a level. When you listen to a conversation, try not to translate in your head. Instead, picture what's happening. If someone says, "I grabbed some pizza after work," imagine it. You'll remember it more easily. Visualization helps you understand naturally and think in English without effort. If you can, try this little challenge every day. Listen to 5 minutes of real English audio and repeat or summarize what you understood out loud. Don't worry about being perfect, just speak. The goal isn't accuracy, it's flow. Even short daily practice like that can transform your listening and speaking confidence within weeks. Now let's play with rhythm again. Repeat these short lines with gentle movement. How are you feeling? I'm feeling great. What have you been doing? Just working a lot lately. That sounds tiring. Yeah, but it's okay. Now say them all together in one flowing rhythm. How are you feeling? I'm feeling great. What have you been doing? Just working a lot lately. That sounds tiring. Yeah, but it's okay. Wonderful. That's natural spoken conversation in motion. Let's focus for a moment on intonation questions. Yes, no versus information questions. In yes-no questions like, "Are you ready?" your tone rises at the end. But in questions with who, what, where, when, or why, like "Where are you going?" your tone usually falls at the end. Try it with me. Are you ready? Where are you going? Do you like it? Why did you leave? Great. You're training your ear for English melody, the real secret to sounding native. Before we finish this part, let's practice a realistic mini dialogue using everything you've learned. Hey, how's your week been? Pretty good, just busy. Yeah, same here. You doing anything fun this weekend? Maybe go hiking if the weather's nice. That sounds great. Yeah, I can't wait. Fantastic. You just practiced linking stress, tone, rhythm, and emotion, all in 6 short lines. The more you repeat dialogues like this, the more your speech will become automatic. You won't have to think about grammar or pronunciation. Your mouth will simply remember what feels right. That's what real fluency is. Not memorizing rules, but building habits through sound and rhythm. And here's one last reminder before we move forward. Be kind to yourself while learning. Every small effort counts. Every repetition brings you closer. No one becomes fluent overnight, but everyone who practices consistently gets there. So stay patient, stay curious, and keep going. You're doing amazing. Now that you've practiced rhythm, tone, emotion, and daily conversation, it's time to bring it all together and build true confidence when you speak. Confidence doesn't come from knowing every word in the dictionary. It comes from trusting your voice, trusting your rhythm, and knowing that you can express yourself clearly even if you make mistakes. Fluency isn't perfection, it's comfort. It's that feeling when you can join a conversation and just be yourself in English. Let's start with a quick self-reflection exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and think about how far you've come. Maybe when you started, you felt nervous about speaking, or you didn't understand fast conversations. But now, you can hear the rhythm, you can catch the flow, you can even shadow sentences smoothly. That's real progress. It might not feel huge day to day, but every little moment you spend listening and speaking adds up, like drops filling a bucket. And one day, that bucket overflows into fluency. When you speak English, don't try to sound perfect. Try to sound connected, connected to the person, connected to the meaning. If you forget a word, describe it. If you mispronounce something, smile and keep talking. The truth is, most native speakers don't even notice small mistakes. What they remember is how comfortable and friendly you sound. So focus on connection, not correction. Let's do one more full shadowing activity together, this time with longer, natural sentences. Ready? Hey, sorry I'm late. The traffic was crazy. No worries, I just got here too. Oh good, I thought you'd been waiting long. Not at all? Want something to drink? Yeah, maybe just water, thanks. Beautiful. Now say the same dialogue again, but link everything smoothly. Hey, sorry I'm late. Traffic was crazy. No worries, I just got here too. Oh good, I thought you'd been waiting long. Not at all. Want to get something to drink? Yeah, maybe just water, thanks. That's how real English flows in everyday life. When you listen to these sentences, don't just focus on what's said. Notice the movement. Notice where the voice rises, where it falls, where it softens. You're not learning separate sounds anymore. You're learning the rhythm of a living language. You're training your ears to dance with English. Another way to sound more fluent is to use short, natural fillers when you speak, not to cover mistakes, but to sound thoughtful and real. For example, words like, well, you know, actually, or I mean appear constantly in native speech. Try this. Well, I'm not sure. You know, I think you're right. Actually, that's a good point. I mean, it could work. These soft fillers make your speech flow naturally while you think. You don't have to use them too often, but knowing how they sound helps you understand real conversation better. Now let's practice a little longer rhythm paragraph together. Repeat after me, one phrase at a time. I've been trying to practice English every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Sometimes I listen to podcasts, sometimes I talk to myself out loud. It's not perfect, but I can feel the improvement. My pronunciation is clearer and I can think faster in English now. Excellent. Now link them all together smoothly. I've been trying to practice English every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Sometimes I listen to podcasts, sometimes I talk to myself out loud. It's not perfect, but I can feel the improvement. My pronunciation's clearer, and I can think faster in English now. You just spoke like a native speaker in rhythm, tone, and emotion. That's amazing. Let's talk about another important element: confidence in real situations. Many learners freeze when someone speaks quickly to them. When that happens, just breathe. Focus on the main words. And if you don't understand something, it's completely okay to ask. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Sorry, what do you mean?" Native speakers use those phrases too. Asking for repetition doesn't make you sound weak. It makes you sound real and respectful. It shows you're listening. Let's practice how to do it politely and naturally. "Sorry, could you say that again?" "I didn't quite catch that." "What was that?" "Could you repeat the last part?" Beautiful. Keep your tone soft and friendly. You can even add a little smile in your voice. That helps you sound confident instead of nervous. Now imagine yourself in another everyday situation, maybe shopping. "Hi, do you have this in a smaller size?" "Let me check." "Yes, here you go." "Thanks, how much is it?" "That's $25. "All right, I'll take it." "Would you like a bag?" "Yes, please." "Have a great day." "You too." These are small, simple lines, but they're the building blocks of fluency. You'll use sentences like these everywhere, and when you can say them naturally, everything else becomes easier. Let's shadow that one together quickly. "Hi, do you have this in a smaller size?" "Let me check." "Yeah, here you go." "Thanks, how much is it?" "That's $25. "All right, I'll take it." "Would you like a bag?" "Yes, please." "Have a great day." You too. Perfect. You just practiced everyday fluency the way real people speak. Simple, clear, connected. Now let's focus on confidence through rhythm. When you speak with steady rhythm, your voice sounds sure, even if you're not completely certain about your words. Try this line with me. "I think I can handle it." Say it slowly, now naturally. "I think I can handle it." Hear that rhythm? Strong beginning, soft ending. That's what confidence sounds like. You can use this same rhythm anytime you speak English. It's calm, steady, and powerful. Sometimes learners worry too much about their accent. But remember, having an accent means you speak more than one language. And that's something to be proud of. Your goal isn't to erase your accent. It's to make it clear and smooth so people understand you easily. Every native speaker has a regional accent too: American, British, Australian, Canadian. So don't compare. Just focus on clarity and flow. Your accent is part of your identity. Here's something you can practice every day to keep improving. Pick one short English video, maybe from this channel, and listen for 1 minute. Then shadow it immediately. Don't pause, don't analyze, just follow the rhythm. Then do it again. The first time, you'll catch maybe 50%. The second time, 70%. The third time, 90%. That's how your brain learns, through repetition and rhythm, not through memorization. Let's talk a bit about thinking speed. When you start speaking English, your brain often wants to translate from your native language. That slows you down. The best way to fix that is to think in phrases, not words. For example, instead of thinking, "I am going to the store," think, "I'm going to the store" as one unit. Keep practicing short patterns like "I'm gonna," "I wanna," "I've gotta," "I'd like to," I'm thinking of. When you speak in phrases, your brain and mouth start working together smoothly. Let's try that together with rhythm. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I wanna go out tonight. I've gotta finish this first. I'd like to travel more. I'm thinking of taking a break. Perfect. You're practicing natural rhythm, and your mouth is learning to move effortlessly through connected speech. And here's one of the best secrets of all. Talk to yourself in English. Yes, it sounds funny, but it's incredibly effective. Describe what you're doing. I'm washing the dishes. I'm checking my email. I'm planning dinner. Or talk about your thoughts. I'm feeling tired today. I should go for a walk. I wonder what the weather's like tomorrow. This builds fluency faster than any grammar book because you're training your brain to live in English. Now, before we close, let's take one last guided practice, a slow shadowing session with calm rhythm. Repeat after me. I can speak English clearly. I can understand native speakers. I'm improving every single day. My confidence is growing. I'm proud of how far I've come. Good. Now say them all together, softly but confidently. I can speak English clearly. I can understand native speakers. I'm improving every single day. My confidence is growing, and I'm proud of how far I've come. Feel that? That's the sound of real progress. You've done such an amazing job today. You've learned how to listen deeply, how to shadow with rhythm, how to connect sounds like a native, and how to speak with confidence and flow. Keep practicing these techniques every day, and you'll notice that English starts to feel easier, more natural, and even fun. Every single minute you spend here is building your future fluency. So keep listening, keep repeating, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You already have everything you need to sound natural and confident. It's just a matter of time and practice. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I'm so proud of the effort you've made, and I hope you can feel how much your English has already improved. Every day you practice is one step closer to speaking freely and naturally. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. Keep practicing, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and keep shining, English learner.